Hi everyone, welcome to your Learn Easily channel. Today we are going to learn the finite and non-finite verbs. I hope you watched my verbs and its types video. Now I am continuing the verbs and its types, that is finite and non-finite verbs. In the verbs and its types video I gave the types, action verbs, linking verbs and helping verbs. Now here the other two types of verbs, finite and non-finite verbs. Now let us begin to learn finite and non-finite verbs. Here finite and non-finite verbs are not different like the other verbs. Here the same action verbs, linking verbs and helping verbs are the finite and non-finite. Let's see which are the finite and which are the non-finite. Before going to the main, now let's see what is finite and what is non-finite first. Here finite verbs which depends on the subject, number and time or tense in the sentence. Here every sentence we are using the subjects. Okay, here the verbs which depends on that subject, they are called as finite verbs. Okay, then non-finite verbs is nothing but does not depends on the subject and the number of subject or time and tense. Very simple, I'll say to you that finite verbs means they change according to the subject. Means if the subject is singular, we are using one verb, and if the subject is plural, we are using another verb in the place of first one. Or if the sentence is in present tense, we are using one verb, and if it is past, we are using another verb, that is the finite. According to the subject and tense, it changes. But non-finite verb doesn't change. They remain the same if the subject is singular or subject is plural or the tense may be present, past or future. These non-finite verbs doesn't change. They remains same. Now let's go to examples. You will come to know how easy to find out these finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Okay, let's begin with the finite verbs. Here finite verbs means a verb which is limited by the number or the person of its subject and also on the tense of the subject. Finite verbs is nothing but which depends on the number of persons means subject and the tense of the subject in that sentence, that is finite verbs. See, look at here this sentence. I am a boy. Here the subject is I. The number of subject is only one. It is a singular. We are using am as a helping verb. Then I am a boy, the full sentence. You got? The subject is I. The next word is am is a verb there. We are using am for I. Now let's see. If I change the subject, now I am using we. In the place of I am using we. The subject changes to plural. The number is changed. See, look at the verb next to the subject. Are. Right? The first sentence is am. In the second sentence is changed as a are. Right? That am and are called the finite verbs. They change according to the subject and tense also. I show you the tense. I was playing. It is a past tense. Was is a finite. What if I change the subject I as a plural? See, we were playing. Right? You got what is finite verb is now? Right. Here the finite verbs depends on the subject and the tense. They change according to them. If the subject is singular, am, was. Is. If the subject is plural, was, were, is. We are changing them according to the subject and tense. They are called finite verbs. Now see some more example. She likes dancing. He went to school. Raju had completed the homework. See here, like, went, had, they are all called finite verbs. Okay, if you want to identify these finite verbs, it is very easy. Is that finite verbs always comes to next to the subject. You know very well what is the subject in sentence. Here the finite verbs always the next word of the sentence, and the finite verbs always the helping verbs and linking verbs. All the helping verbs and linking verbs are all finites in the sentence. And nextly, the action verbs like present tense verb 1 and the past tense verb 2 are the finite verbs in a sentence. Keep in your mind, to identify the finite verbs, just remember the finite verb is always next to subject in a sentence, and they are helping verbs or linking verbs, and an action verbs like present tense and past tense verb 1 and verb 2 are finite verbs. Okay, if you keep two things in your mind, like the next word of the subject is helping verb, maybe action verb, they are the finites. Next to the subject is finites. That is enough to know, identify the finite verbs. Now let us see some of the examples how to identify the finite verbs. Now non-finite verbs. Already you know what is finite, means changes. Non-finite, not changes. They never changes. Okay, let's see the meaning of the non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs do not change their form even when the person or the number of subject changes, nor on the tense of the sentence. Here the non-finite verbs doesn't change at all. Even the subject is plural or singular, or the tense, it may be present, it may be past, or any changes, but these non-finite verbs remains the same. They never change at all. Let us see. They want to eat something delicious. They want to eat something delicious. You change the subject, like they is a plural, change it as a singular. I want to eat, she want to eat, you want to eat, we want to eat. To eat never change. That to is, it is non-finite. She wants to sing a song, they wants to sing a song, Ravi wants to sing a song. See that to sing never changes. That is the non-finite. He is playing football. I am playing football. We are playing football. They were playing football. See, they were. They is a subject. Were is a finite, but the playing is remains same. So that playing is called non-finite verb. They have played football. I have played football. She has played football. Even the subject changes, finite verb changes, but these played remains same. That is the non-finite verb. They had arranged the party. We have arranged the party. She has arranged the party. See, subject changes, the next word finite verb is also changes, but arranged remains the same. It never change. That arranged is called the non-finite verb. Okay, you got the difference between finite and non-finite? Yes, finite will change, and the finite verb is the next of subject. Always the second word, means the next word of the subject. But finite is not a next word of subject. Subject changes, but the non-finite verb never change. They remains same. Let's move on. Here, the types of non-finite verbs. Here in non-finite verbs, there are other types. Let's see. The infinitive, gerunds and participles. There are three types in non-finite verbs, that is the infinitive, gerunds and participles. Okay, now go to the first one, the infinitive. The infinitive is nothing but 2 plus verb 1. He is too weak to move. To move. Move is verb 1. We have to call it as a finite, but the to move is not finite here because subject he, the next word is a finite verb, but V1 is at end having to with it, so that a to move is called as the infinitive or to infinitive. See the next sentence. She is old to get married. She is a subject, is a finite verb, then to get. To get is the non-finite, and in that non-finite it is to infinitive. Then Sushma went to market to buy a bag. Sushma went to market to buy a bag. Here the Sushma is subject, went is a finite and to buy is a non-finite, but it is the to infinitive in non-finites. You got to infinitive is nothing but 2 plus verb 1 in a sentence is called to infinitives. Okay, then see, here is some to infinitive examples, how to use them. It is our duty to respect our elders. Always to respect, not at the end or middle of the sentence, it may comes at the beginning also. To respect our elders is our duty. It is difficult to live without pure water. To live without pure water is difficult. It is illegal to detain a human in night. To detain a human in night is illegal. See, these are the examples. Keep in your mind 2 plus verb 1 in a sentence, it is a non-finite, that is a to infinitive. Then here are some more examples. I don't know what to say. Tell me where to go. I wonder who to call. Do you know how to swim? To say, to go, to call, to swim. These are the 2 plus verb 1. So they are called to infinitives. And some cases these infinitives doesn't carry to with them. They are called bare infinitive. You know very well, bare is nothing but nothing to there. That's all. But we have verb 1. See, to is not used after auxiliary verbs like shall, will, must, dare, could, might, need, can, may, should, totally like a future tense or like the modal verbs. After the modal verbs, we are not using the to with the verb 1. So that is called the bare infinitive. I should write. Here I is a subject, should is the finite, but next word is write is also verb 1. We have to call it as a finite, but in a single sentence there should be no two finite verbs. Okay, say it carefully. I is a subject, the next word should is a finite, the write is a verb 1. We have to call it as a finite again. So here write is a verb 1 without to. That is why it is called bare infinitive. Okay, see other examples. He should write. I can do it. I will go to home. Vinita will sing a song. In all these cases, these verb 1, they are not carrying to with them. They are called bare infinitives. You got? The first type of non-finite is infinitives, that is to infinitive. In that there are some bare infinitives. Then second type of non-finite is gerund. Gerund is the ing form of verb which is used as a noun. It is also called as verbal noun. Here, ing form, we are thinking that it is the verb, but ing form of verb sometimes used as a noun in a sentence. That type of nouns, ing form words, they are called gerund. Look at these examples. Running is good way to keep fit. The boys were tired of running. He seemed to be interested in fighting. I like reading books. Okay, here running, fighting, reading, they are not the verbs. They are the nouns. Okay, they are called gerund. Like smoking is injurious to health. Walking is my hobby. Walking is good for health. Helping is good, like this. Some ing form of words we are using as a nouns, they are called gerunds. This is the second type of the non-finite verbs. Then last one is the participles. Here the participles. A participle is that form of the verb which has characteristics of an adjective and a verb. Here we are calling two types of participles. One is verb 3 and another one is verb 4. Verb 3 is a past participle. Then verb 4 is present participle. Ing forms are called verb forms. Look at these examples. He was finished the project. Here he is a subject, was is a finite. The next word finished is the verb 3. Okay, that verb 3 is called the participle and it is a non-finite. The cookies were baked fresh this morning. Then she has burned dinner before. They have completed the homework. Here finished, baked, burned and completed. We are using all these four verbs as a verb 3 means past participles, not verb 2 past tense. Okay, this verb 3 belongs to the non-finite group of verbs. Then let's see the verb 4, the participle V4 ing form. I am working, he was singing, they have been walking, we will be staying, she would have been expecting me. See here, these are all verb 4. The present participles, they are called as the non-finite verbs. Okay dear students, you got what are finites and non-finite verbs. Keep in your mind, finites are the verbs which change according to the subject and they comes next to the subject. Then non-finite never changes. They are in three types, that is infinitives and then gerunds and then participles. I hope you all understood this finites and non-finites, and keep watching Learn Easily channel. Thank you for watching. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, now subscribe to my channel. Go to Learn Easily, then go to videos and scroll down to watch more videos in my channel. Watch the videos in my channel and learn easily.